So now we will work on an exercise to understand, apply, call and the bind methods that are built-in methods inside JavaScript. So guys, you need to follow below steps in order to complete this exercise and to completely understand what is the difference between apply, call and the bind methods. So guys, first of all, we are going to create an object that is person with the first name and the last name properties with initial values. So guys, let us move to VS Code over here and simply we are going to create a new file under the tutorial folder. So as you can see, we have this exercise.js file in this case. Now guys, simply what we will do is we are going to create a object that is person over here with the first name and the last name properties. So simply we have the first name, let us say the first name is Smith and the last name is Peter over here. So we are going to provide the last name property as well and we will provide the value as Peter this time. Now guys, apart from this, we need to add the display function to return the first name and the last name. So guys, over here we will provide display as the name of the function. So we have the function keyword and then inside the function we are going to have the return statement. So guys, over here it is going to return the full name. So simply we will say full name is and then followed by first name and last name inside the curly braces after the dollar symbol. So guys, over here we have defined the display function. It is going to return full name is first name and last name, which are the properties of this particular JavaScript object. Now guys, apart from this, we need to create another object player with first name, last name and age. So guys, once again we are going to copy paste these lines of code over here and simply we are going to change the object name, that is player this time, and it is going to only have the first name and last name over here. And let us say we provide some other name. So let's say we have the first name as Maxwell over here and last name as Simons this time. So guys, over here we have the first name and the last name for the player as well. Apart from this, we also want the age parameter. So let us say we provide the age and then it is equal to 25 years. So guys, after this, what we have to do is we need to use the call method to call the display method and the player object. So by using the player object which we have defined just now, we need to call the display method so that the combination of the first name and the last name can be printed over here. So guys, if you notice, we have the display function belonging to the person object over here and not the player object. So we cannot use the player object directly in order to call the display method. So let us see what will be the error if we try to do so. So over here we will provide console.log statement, and this time what we will do is simply we will use the player object over here using which we need to call the display method. So when we provide display, it is going to return us the error. So let us confirm that as well. Simply we are going to provide the node command on the terminal followed by the name of the JavaScript file. So as you can see, we are getting the error. It says player.display is not a function. That's because the display function is not belonging to the player object. So guys, how we can access the display function by using the player object? By using the call method over here. So basically we'll have to remove this particular part inside the console.log statement and we have to use the person object over here. So first of all, we will provide person followed by dot, and this time we will use the display method. Directly if we try to call the display method by using the person object, then we will get the details of this first name and last name, which is Smith Peter, which is part of this person object, which we don't want. We want the first name and the last name of the player object. So what we will do is, before printing that, first of all let us see whether we are getting first name and last name of person object over here. Let me just save this file now and try running this code once again. So as you can see, full name is Smith Peter. So this particular display function is working properly. We are getting the combination of first name and last name of the person object. But guys, over here we want the object that is player and the first name and the last name of this particular player object. So what we will do is, let me just remove these open and close parentheses, and over here we need to use the call method after the display method. So in this case, as you can see, after calling the display method, we will use the call method this time, which is going to take certain parameters. So as you can see, the first parameter needs to be the object to be used as the current object. So instead of providing the first name and the last name of the person object, we want the name of the player object. So that is going to be the argument, which is the first argument for this particular call method over here. So simply we are using the player object this time in order to call the display method. So let us see what will be the output over here. So when we run this code once again, as you can see, full name is Maxwell Simons this time instead of Smith Peter. So guys, over here, this is the name of the player object this time that we are getting, and in this way we can use the call method and pass the object in order to call the display method, which is belonging to the person object this time. So guys, we have completed the fourth task as well. Similarly, we need to use the apply method in order to call the display method and player object. So guys, over here once again we can also use the apply method in this case. So instead of call method, we will use the apply method, and it is again going to call the display method inside the person object. So over here we provide person followed by dot, and then we have the display method followed by dot, and this time we will provide apply over here, and once again we are going to pass the player as the parameter to this apply method this time. Let me just save this file now and try running this code once again over here. So as you can see, full name is Maxwell Simons is getting printed for this apply method as well. Now guys, what is the difference between call and the apply method? Simply it depends on the second parameter over here. So let us say if we want to print this particular age of the player as well, we have to pass it as a parameter to this display function. So we are passing it as age, and then let us say we provide full name is followed by first name and last name, and then we will say and age is followed by the age value in this case, which is coming as the parameter to this function. So guys, we have this full name is first name last name, and then we have and age is followed by the age value, and then we have years. So let me just save this file now. Now in order to provide the age in this case, for the call method we need to provide it as a comma separated value. So over here we provide comma, and the second argument should be the age of the player. So in this case we will provide player followed by dot, and then we have the age as well. And for the apply method as well, what we have to do is again we need to provide comma, and the second parameter should be the array. So as you can see, the second parameter that is expected is of the array data type over here. So simply we need to provide open and close square brackets this time, and we will provide player followed by dot and the age property over here. So let me just save this file now and try running this code once again over here on the terminal. So as you can see, full name is Maxwell Simons and age is 25 years. So guys, basically we are passing the age as well. The only difference is with apply, which starts with the a character, we need the array which again starts with the a character over here, and then with call we need to pass it as the argument over here. If you have more arguments inside the apply method over here, you need to provide all those arguments within this particular array, which is the second argument. So guys, with this we have completed the fifth task as well. Apart from this, we also want to use the bind method to call the display method and the player object. So guys, once again we will provide the console.log statement over here, and this time what we will do is again we are going to use the person object followed by dot, and then we have the display method followed by dot, and this time we will use the bind method over here, and again it is going to take the argument which is going to be the object. So guys, over here we need to provide the player object this time. Let us see what will be the output. The difference with the bind method is it is going to return the function as the return type. So let us check that as well when we save this file now and try running this code once again over here on the terminal. So as you can see, it is returning the function which is having the display name over here. So what we have to do is we need to store this particular function in another variable. So let us say we provide the callback variable, that is full name over here, it is equal to, and then as you can see we are storing this function that is coming from the bind method over here inside the full name as the callback function, and this callback function can then be called in order to print the results. So guys, over here we have the console.log statement, and then we have the full name, and then this particular full name should take one parameter, that should be the age of the player. So guys, over here we will provide player followed by dot, and then we have the age property. So this is the way that we are going to use the bind method. Since it is going to return the function, we will store it as a callback function over here, and then use that callback function with the help of the parameter to be passed and print the statement that is coming as the return statement. So let me just save this file now and try running this code once again over here on the terminal. So as you can see, all these three statements are giving the same result in this case. So guys, in this way, these are the differences between the call, apply and the bind methods. First of all these methods are going to take another object over here, which is going to borrow or use the method of another object, which is person in this case, and it depends on the second parameter that you are going to pass. So basically the call method is going to take the second parameter simply using the comma separated values. The apply method is going to take the second parameter as the array, and if you have multiple arguments to be passed, you need to pass it as an array over here. And then apart from this, the bind method is going to return the function over here, which we can use as a callback function along with the required parameters that are supposed to be passed in this case. So guys, comment in the comment section below whether you have learned something out of this video. Please make sure that you like this video so that it reaches to more people, and subscribe to the channel so that you get the notifications on upcoming videos as well. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, stay tuned.